I have strep throat right now. Thanks, Sarah. Hi Sarah, how are you doing today? I'm sick if you're wondering, but you already knew that because I've been complaining to you and asking you for advice for the last 3 days. Oscars night we shared a beer, I think, and then I got strep throat from you, and I'm feeling pretty terrible right now, but the beer was worth it, I think. So, you know, today I'm not here to talk about any more sick, because there's been so much sick talk in these videos for the past like 4 days that I could do a strep throat survival video, but you already did it and it was pretty good. Today I'm doing a book review. I haven't done one in a while. As you may know, I'm very terrible at explaining things, so I can guarantee this video is going to be all over the place, but you know, I'm just going to try my hardest to not do that. Also, my throat hurts really bad, so my voice might go in and out, but I don't really think you care. The book I'm reviewing today is one that I waited for a while, because there was a lot of hype about it from the person's Twitter who wrote it. It was written by Colin and illustrated by Carson Ellis. Colin Malloy is the lead singer of the Decemberists, which is one of my favorite bands, I think since like grade 7 or something. Yeah, it's written by him and illustrated by his wife. Isn't that the cutest thing ever? To write and illustrate a book together, like as husband and wife. It's so cute. The book is called Wildwood. Looks like this. It is a very different kind of tale. If you know anything about Colin Malloy, you know that he likes to make up stories. A lot of his, songs that he writes all the songs for the band. A lot of his songs are story-based, and they are stories that are kind of far-fetched about, like, creatures that, like, animals talking or whatever. So I'm going to read you the back of the book, the synopsis on the back, and then I'm going to explain it, why I liked it and stuff. So this is the synopsis on the back. Prue McKeel's life is ordinary, that is, until her brother is abducted by a murder of crows and taken into the impassable wilderness, a dense, tangled forest on the edge of Portland. No one's ever gone in, or at least returned to tell of it. So begins an adventure that will take Prue and her friend Curtis deep into the impassable wilderness. There they uncover a secret world in the midst of violent upheaval, a world full of warring creatures, peaceable mystics, and powerful figures with the darkest intentions. And what begins as a rescue mission becomes something much greater as the two friends find themselves entwined in a struggle for the very freedom of the wilderness, a wilderness the locals call Wildwood, hence the title Wildwood. So, in the back of the book, I think the back, or maybe the front, I don't know. Yeah, in the back of the book, there is an entire map of the city that he basically created for the book, other than, Portland's a real place, but, so we have the wood, and it consists of Wildwood, Northwood, and Southwood. And these are all places in the impassable wilderness, which is a place where there are, talking animals, soldiers who are coyotes, a witch who runs the wilderness, and is supposed to be really nice, but turns out to be, a witch. There are bandits, who are people who, they're good people, but people think they're bad. There's just all kinds of things. So, Wildwood is in the middle, Northwood is to the north, Southwood to the south, and they're all very different, and they all have very different creatures living within them, plus humans living within them too, I believe. But they're all kind of rivals, and Prue McKeel, who is a 12-year-old girl who lives in Portland, brother, I said it in the synopsis, gets taken by crows. One day these crows come down, swoop up her brother, and take him off, and so she goes riding after them on her bike, and comes to the edge of the impassable wilderness, which she's heard about, but never really, everyone's kind of hush-hush about it. No one really talks about it. So, she decides that she has to go into the impassable wilderness to save her brother. And when she gets in there, she realizes that her friend Curtis has followed her, who I think kind of has a crush on her a little bit. Anyway, so they get in, and immediately, once they're in there, after about one chapter, they get taken by coyote soldiers, who are the police of the woods, of the Wildwood area. Curtis gets taken with the coyotes, and Prue actually ends up getting away. When Curtis is taken by the coyotes, he goes to the witch's tower, who is called the governess in the book. And she asks him all kinds of questions about this, why he's in the wood and how he got in, because it turns out that you cannot get in the woods unless you have magical wood powers, which is kind of like a cliffhanger through the entire book. You never really understand how they both got in until the end. So Curtis gets taken in with the coyotes, and he starts working for the governess, not knowing that she is kind of a witch. The whole time he's with the governess, Prue is on a mission to find her baby brother, Mac, who got taken by the crows. So she ends up going to Southwood, Northwood. She goes to see the mystics. She goes to see, the bandits. All of these different types of groups within the wood. She ends up bringing them all together in a force to bring her baby brother back to her. And within this story of her trying to find her baby brother, you find out that the governess is a witch who wants the baby to herself to do horrible things. Curtis finds out that she's actually a witch, and he tries to get away from working with her, but he gets put into a dungeon. He finds a way out of that. Prue goes all over the wood, having so many things happen to her, meeting so many different kinds of people. In the end, there's a big war, and the Southwooders, the Northwooders, and the Wildwooders all come together to make an army to fight against the governess, aka the witch, to get Mac back to Prue. And it's a great tale. It's like a children's story, but with grown-up actions in it, like war and fighting and death and, all of that stuff, but it's kind of told through the eyes of this 12-year-old. And within it, there's all kinds of pictures. As said before, it was illustrated by his wife, Carson Ellis. This is Prue. And this is her baby brother getting taken by crows. There isn't really much more I can say about the book without spoiling it, because I do, want people to read it, because it's a great, great book. It was very beautifully written by Colin. I knew he was a great writer from the songs that he wrote, but this is it's really beautifully written. I would give this book like 5 out of 5 stars. It was great. It's pretty thick, and it could be 2 more of these size books, and I would just keep reading it. I never wanted it to end. But yeah, so I suggest all of you who've watched this, if you haven't already read it, pick up this book, read it, and love it, and fall in love with the characters. All I have to say about it, I don't want to give anything away, plus my throat is really starting to hurt from all this talking, so I'm going to go drink some tea with honey. Goodbye, have a good week, see you next Thursday, and all that jazz. Colin and Carson are so cute. So